This week's episode of the Pretty Neat Podcast is brought to you by you. That's right, if you'd like us to promote your content or your store, let us know by going to theprettyneatpodcast.com and clicking the mailbag. I'm working on some art. You want to see?
Yeah. Is it nude art? Wow. I don't completely get it. Who is that in the picture?
Brandon Allen.
Mm-hmm. And the Bear Jew. Yep. Okay.
And that's Paul Craig.
I like it. It has my stamp of approval.
Hell yeah. That's the only thing I want. I want it more than my dad's.
Well, in many ways, I am your father. We've discussed this.
I love it.
It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast. It's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast.
You know, Dom, I think one of the reasons that we are hetero life mates,
Yes.
as I am with Ryan, who's also here now. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, how are
Hello.
you?
Is that I think that both of us, if not all three of us, are Stoics. And I mean that in a philosophical
very much so,
sense.
yes.
And
I, in fact, read the Daily Stoic almost daily.
yeah, he's 30
Mhm.
minutes away from me. I've been to his
Mhm.
and his wife's bookstore. It's
Don't laugh at me, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Holiday.
Yeah. And his parenting one is good, too.
Yeah, I love him. He's great. I love what he talks about. But we're also, I think we're kind of optimistic nihilists or nihilistic optimists in a way. Like shit'll happen, but we're good. We're prepared. We can pivot. We can deal. We're solid because nothing matters anyway, and we're in control of what we got in front of us. So
That's
Maybe.
really it, right? What can you control? What can you not control?
you can control your thoughts and your actions. That's
Yep.
it. Anything outside of that is unneeded stress.
That's right. So this is my firing story. So the way that referees work at a competitive high school and collegiate level is you go to a company that employs referees. The company is typically a guy. And let's say it could be any guy. Hey, Ryan, are you a guy?
I am a guy.
You could be someone who owns and operates one of these companies. All you really do is you take a sports schedule and you staff referees who are like independent contractors to you to work the event. Sometimes you pay the referee supplier upfront and he pays the referees. More often you pay him a fee and then you pay a smaller fee and you pay the referees per game, which is typically how the referees want to get paid. The league that my school competes in has decided to go in a different direction, but each school is allowed to staff their own referees. You're responsible for it if you are the home team. But in my quest, I had a really bad run-in with, not really bad, but a run-in with one of the referees at our last home football game that did not sit well with me. I did not appreciate the way he talked to my coach. I did not appreciate the way he talked to me. And I only got involved because he was yelling and finger pointing at my coach. So I literally stepped in between them and said, "You're not going to talk to him that way anymore." And he goes, "I'll talk to anyone however I want. Who the hell are you?" And I go, "Well, I'm the guy who hires the referee company. So you actually won't carry on with your day."
You're the one blowing the real whistle.
Right?
Did you happen to have a red card in your pocket and then just pulled it out and showed it to him?
You're out of order, sir.
If you'd like to buy some Pretty Neat Podcast red cards, go to theprettyneatpodcast.com and hit the mailbag.
That's right. So,
You got the pink slip in your pocket, though.
the league, in fact, is going to use a different provider. And so about a week and a half ago for the coming basketball season, I start getting frantic phone calls and text messages from the guy who runs this company, trying to get the schedule, trying to staff our games, blah, blah, blah. And I had to tell him, like, hey, man, we're going in a different direction. He to say he didn't take it well would be putting it lightly. And I just said, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. So best of luck going forward. He was like, you owe me more loyalty than this. And I'm like, buddy, don't say that.
No, do not tell me what I owe you.
Don't say that, because I know that the check we issued you cleared, and that's what I owed you, and you got it. So yeah, good times. Good times at the OK Corral. Are there 6 main fights or 6 fights on this main card? It looks like there are. The rare 6-fight main card. I'm sorry. That was just as I was pulling up the card, it caught my attention.
Ryan, as you can see, the artwork for this episode.
Yeah, I see that Brendan Allen, he's all in, you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a Jewish bear. He's
That's
taking
Paul.
up, a majority of the screen.
Yeah, that's Paul Craig. That's Paul Craig. It's not
Paul-
even. Some people will say it's Photoshop, but it's Paul Craig.
Yeah, that is Paul Craig.
Haters will say.
Yeah, haters will say it's Photoshop. But the only reason we don't know 100% that it's not Paul Craig is that the left side of the bear's face isn't covered in blue paint.
Yeah, good call. Yeah,
Mhm.
he might. So people might get lost when they're looking at it.
Yeah, they just have a moment. A moment.
Yeah, look at it first.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? That is Paul. Yeah, you're right. That is Paul.
Just gotta look at it. Would
gotta
you
look
look
at
at
it
this?
Oh, you went under?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cards.
Well, that's convenient for a pretty neat 6-pack, isn't it?
It is.
Indeed, it is. I mean, but if we're being honest with ourselves, and we are, but we like to say these things. Does this really this is not like 6 main event fights?
No. Is this even one main event fight?
There's yeah, well, with the momentum that Brendan Allen has, I would say yes, that would be a main event.
He's got
Michael Morales, he's like the next guy up.
Yeah.
In addition to Chito Vera from like coming up big time from Ecuador.
Okay.
Jake Matthews he could be a main eventer, but Chase Hooper definitely not. Jordan Levitt, get the fuck out of here, right?
Right.
He's the Monkey King, not the main event king.
Amanda Hebas, okay. We know her mainly for her dad's terrible tattoo.
Yeah. And getting knocked out. She gets finished pretty often.
She does. She's quite a substantial favorite. I shouldn't say like super substantial, but she's a legitimate favorite, minus 245.
Mm-hmm.
And then Uros Medic, like that's a prelim guy, right? Uros, welcome to the main event, for this fight night. But don't get it twisted. You're a prelim guy.
Hey, you prelim guy.
Hey,
there's 8 fights on the prelim, so a 14 fight card. Not bad. Yeah. It's at the Apex. Why did I think this one was in Austin, Texas? Is that the next one?
December 2nd.
I think that is
Dariush Sarukian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's gonna have Dan Hooker on it as well.
So there is not one the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Is that right?
No. Let's look.
You are correct.
Okay, I can accept that.
Accepted.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
14. I think, and you know what? Despite the lack of like consequential fights, there are some bangers on here. There are some fun ones.
Sure.
But not main event quality. I mean, these two to me are like featured prelim.
Yeah, Michael Morales, he's not quite main event status.
No.
I would definitely see him on a ESPN featured prelim. That's a good call.
Okay.
Chase Hooper, he's like a featured early prelim fighter.
Is the Chase Hooper thing gonna happen? What's the we're kind of jumping right into this without even recapping 295.
Yeah, right. Well, I think that he will live up to his name and he will be chasing the dream.
Uh-huh.
But it will be forever the chase.
Right. Eternally chasing.
We went 5 for 6, didn't we? On our picks?
4.
4 for 6 on our 6-pack?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you made some money.
Not bad. It honestly for our first go at it, and really, it was really the two that we didn't get. Were
You
probably the
you
two.
you legitimately were like, I knew we should have taken the under
Yeah,
on which was that?
the Saint Denis Frivola.
Yeah, because we chose that it was going to go into the second round, and Benoit Saint Denis said no fucking way.
Yeah. It happens. I still think we were on the right side of the Ursig Costa fight, which was the other one we didn't get.
Yes.
That one almost ended earlier
That
than
could have been a first round finish.
it
God
really
damn
could
it.
have been.
God damn it.
I still think at the end of the day we can feel good about the ticket we submitted.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get it and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? I think our thought process was solid on all
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, like we cashed. That's good.
Yeah.
You know? That's
You want 5,
yes.
but
you want 5.
yeah.
You want 6.
Well, you really
But
want
we'll
6.
we'll settle for 5.
But 5's the goal.
Right.
Yeah. I was absolutely stoked that I hit the 6.
You hit a different 6.
I hit a different 6, but it was only because of John Castaneda, who we did not pick.
Because he wasn't one of the main 6 fights.
Yep, and he's just like
Right.
I knew he was gonna throw. And then on the Benoit Saint Denis fight, I put less than 2 takedowns because I didn't think these two guys were gonna take each other down.
I'll
I
say
thought
this
they were gonna bang.
in your defense, you did put that out there when we were discussing which prop to take on that fight. But wasn't there one of the advanced stats that made us rethink it?
Yes. And they're both grapplers. Like they're both really good. And they one of them I think was 1.5. No, it was like 2.5 takedowns a fight or something like that.
It was Benoit.
Yeah, he goes for
Yeah.
a lot of takedowns, but he's been knocking people out lately.
Mhm.
And Matt and him and I forget who I was listening to, which commentator it was. But somebody had pointed out, and I think we've even pointed it out, that when two wrestlers get in there together, they tend to fist fight.
They do. It's because wrestling is so hard.
Yeah, yeah, and they know it's going
yeah.
to be hard against another wrestler. So like these two, that's where that decision came from.
I don't
yeah.
hate it. Benoit 11th now at lightweight. I don't think he's.
What did you think about his call outs?
That's kind of where I'm going.
He called everybody out.
I don't think he's quite ready to climb the ladder yet. Or is
really?
Even for our sake.
No, I mean, because he moved up. He took Frivola's spot. He may have gained a couple of extra spots. I think the Gamrot call out is the most likely. He's not getting Gaethje. Gaethje's going to wait out and get the next title shot.
That is correct.
And Poirier is like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like I fight main event, right? 5 rounds, non-title bites, right? He's Benoit's 27, right? The biggest thing that he has going for him, right, is that he's ex-French special forces. So, and he's just running through people.
Shout out to his call out of like World War I and World War II history. Did you hear that?
No.
He was like, "Yeah, I love America.
No.
We helped him out in World War I and World War II."
That's ridiculous.
Did he say the Revolutionary War and World War II? It was something. It was like, all right, Benoit, I see you.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a game of Climb the Ladder next week or after Austin because Dariush is fighting on that card. Saryukian, Hooker, Bobby Green.
I think it will be more pressy or more pertinent at that point.
Yeah, I like it.
He's tied with Jalen Turner right now. That would be interesting.
Yeah,
with a length mismatch. That would be interesting. Yeah, he lost to didn't he lose to Dan Hooker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Split decision.
I actually like that fight. I think that Benoit Saint or Boner Saint Penis versus the Tarantula would be good.
Mm-hmm.
I like
He's
it.
beating
I
RDA, we think, right? He's probably beating Dan
yeah.
Hooker.
I think he would be
But
Dan Hooker.
but at the Sarukian Fiziev 8-7, that gets
That's
dicey.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
like that's a question mark. Like we
Yep.
don't know, and I would feel much better about his ladder skills if he were to run through Jalen Turner. Like if he
Yeah.
does that, who's a real problem because of his size in the division, that would be giving me a lot of confidence in his ability to get top five
Yeah.
I'm-
status.
I'm really gonna try to go to that.
It also
should.
shouldn't. You should.
Yeah.
It also shouldn't be too. Yeah, you just cashed in a huge ticket. You should go.
Well, that went to other things.
Don't bring the old ball and chain either. Just go by yourself.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
by yourself.
Well, we got to hit the 6 pick for today, this weekend. Then I will. Okay,
There you
that
go.
I promise that to you too.
There you go. I'll take it. The fact that Dan Hooker beat Jalen Turner by split decision really shouldn't be that surprising. Dan Hooker's a good fucking fighter.
Well, he was on that weird skid for a
Mhm.
while, you know.
But
he
against
got
good
hot.
guys.
I know that's the thing. You're absolutely right. Is he lost to elite competition,
Mm-hmm.
but he was getting smoked, right?
Was.
And he was doing that thing where he was going in between 145 and killing himself, and then jumping up and fighting 155.
Yeah.
He just needed to pick a division.
So going back to June of 2020, let me know if you've heard of any of these guys. He loses to Dustin Poirier, excuse me. He loses to Michael. He loses to Michael Chandler, but then beats Nasrat Haqparast, then loses to Islam Makhachev. And is that Arnold Allen? No, Arnold Allen.
Yep.
No shame there. But then he beats Claudio Puelles and Jalen Turner. That's
Those are
in
good
hindsight.
wins.
That's not a terrible 3-year stretch, 3.5-year stretch.
Mm-mm. No,
And that
not at
Arnold, we
all.
should mention that Arnold Allen fight. That's at 145
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he was fighting at 155, and I don't like him like being a floater in between the divisions. He just needed to continue to put on weight and make 155. I like it. He's getting a lot of tattoos of late. Have you seen his
I have not.
his new tattoos?
I don't love that hair though.
No.
No, well, nobody loves that hair. No, nobody loves that hair. It's a mix of fuckboy and serial killer.
True.
Yeah.
Ryan, are you watching the football game?
I am.
Amazon does a fucking great job with their broadcast.
I agree.
Yeah, it's real
I
good.
agree. They need to continue to expand. Like the one championship, it's a good product. I would like to see them promote that more.
Yes.
Because it's interesting. I love the like Thai boxing with MMA gloves, that type of competition, and then they're just crossing a bunch of stuff, which is it's just fun.
Yes.
But they are good, and they're paying Al Michaels bucks to do one game a week.
Well, the numbers that they were allegedly offering McVay were like, dude, what are you doing coaching the Rams? Take that.
Go.
But Aaron and I think
isn't that what they say when people do that in this game?
It is, yes. Aaron and I were talking about it on I think the last episode you weren't on a couple weeks ago. Like, to your point about ONE FC, Amazon gets so many eyeballs. They could put the ONE FC banner just on the Amazon homepage and get it in front of so many people.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you saying that on that episode.
Yeah,
like right now, I just went to Amazon. It's literally the whole screen banner comes down. It's Bengals Ravens, and then it loads a smaller window to play it before I start shopping. So if you're signed in, Aaron, it expands that whole thing, that whole top banner you see there. And it's not even like that. It's way more invasive than that, honestly. And then it starts playback and you have to exit out of it that's interesting. Anyway, sorry. What were we talking about?
Buy again, Liquid IV.
The fact that if they were to put Demetrius Johnson on the cover of Amazon's homepage, the UFC would be really fucking mad.
I don't know. He's not that exciting.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just using him as an example of ONE FC. If you're putting right here on Amazon like this, whoever it is
you're right.
going to be a new name.
You're right.
and he's probably the most likely in the US.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Yeah.
US, I would agree. But they got Rod Tang, and that guy's he's a
Hmm.
fucking living legend
Yeah.
Yep.
in Thailand.
Yeah. His name he sounds like the guy from The Protector and Ong Bak, Tony Jaa.
Yeah, I was gonna say he sounds like the guy from Bloodsport, right? That throws the powder
Ooh.
in his eyes.
Wow. Where is it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen
Anyway,
Enter the Dragon, so I can't comment on that.
well, we're is there anything else well, we still have to talk about
Yeah, the
I
two new
mean,
champs.
two new champs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Uh,
let's yeah,
which one do you want to do first?
Aspinall.
do it.
Aspinall. Wow,
He's fucking good, man.
he
No
took the
question.
shot. He took a clean left
Yep.
and was like, "Hey, watch this.
Yep.
Check out my foot speed. Can
Yep.
you see my feet? Oh, boom, boom, you're done."
Yep.
That was he has the fastest fight. He has the shortest fight time in UFC heavyweight history, which is impressive, right? I would say he still has some. He's an interim champion, so I can't say like he still has things to prove, but I'd want to see him just continue to finish people in that manner to say like undoubtedly.
I don't think you're off on that at all. I think he is far from a finished product. And I think heavyweight right now is unfortunately a 3-name. They're a triangle. They're rock, paper, scissors. And I think Jones beats Aspinall. I think no. I'm gonna say it.
Well,
I think Aspinall beats Jones,
okay.
but I think Cyril Gahn beats Aspinall, but John Jones beats Cyril Gahn.
Okay, I agree with that. I think that Aspinall would beat Jones.
Yeah.
And this is coming off a major injury at 35 or whatever he is, John Jones, not the John Jones we saw at any other point in his career, because Tom Aspinall is not fucking touching that guy.
Yep.
No.
But Tom Aspinall with a year, he probably doesn't fight for a year to train to get ready for him.
A year? You think a year? So what are we saying? Are we saying?
I don't know what's going to
John
happen.
Jones comes back for UFC 300, and he still fights Stipe.
That's what
Ugh.
Dana says.
And it
Damn.
would
Did
not
you see
be
Stipe,
for the belt.
Did you see
or-
Stipe at Madison Square Garden walking
He looks
out,
so mad.
looking like he had been riding a horse for like 8 hours?
I
Yeah.
saw something about him. I did not see what the story was, though.
He looked
He-
pissed off after the win. To me.
Well, let's be real. I'm a Stipe fan, so
Yeah.
what I'm about to say is a little biased, but I know you guys are too. This is the winningest if not the winningest heavyweight. He defended the belt the most times.
Yeah. Yes.
Never was respected, even
No.
as the sitting champ for years and years and years, the way he should have been.
Totally true.
Gets the big fight, then right, everyone's on Francis's dick for so long. Okay, fine. Then it's John Jones, but there's a splash of Cyril Gahn in there. We're talking about Pavlovich and Aspinall and even Curtis Blades and Jailton Almeida, even fucking Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis. Like, Stipe never got the I don't know, credit he deserved.
I think that's totally valid.
He
Yeah.
For
fucking
the people that he beat.
beat the shit out of Ngannou the first time they fought.
He did.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He beat Francis. Well, and then Francis, fucking destroyed him in the second fight. But
Yeah.
that's the evolution of Francis. Here's the thing. So Stipe is 42, right? Cyril's 33, Aspinall's 30, and then Pavlovich, I think, is also like 30 or
he's
early 30s
like 30 or
late
30
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He looks
Jones
like he's
is
48, but
and
that's a
Jones is
different
like
thing.
what 30? Yeah, he does. Well, Russians, whatever.
John's like my age. He's like 36.
Let's see.
35, 36.
John, he's 35. He's 35.
Yeah, okay.
He'll be 36 in August. No, I'm sorry. That's his Octagon debut. My bad. But he's 35.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, Octagon. Nope. That's not right. That's poor math. Anyway, Jones, what keeps him around? Is it his desire for competition? Right? He took
John
the time
Jones?
off. Yeah, John Jones. Does he stay around to fight these guys that are younger than him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. A part of me,
So Cyril's 2 years younger than him. Aspinall's 5 years younger than him. And then you got the Curtis Blades, which I think he could nullify. And then Sergey, that's like
Yeah,
a first round puzzle you have to solve, and then you can have your way with it.
You don't think John Jones would beat Sergey Pavlovich?
No. First round puzzle you have to solve.
Yeah, well,
Right,
Tom Aspinall just solved it.
Yeah, here's the blueprint.
yeah.
Foot speed. I don't think John Jones has that at this point in time.
No,
Has
not
that
anymore.
same level
Yeah,
of athleticism.
Mhm.
I think you're right that Cyril could probably do that to Sergey,
Yeah.
and I think it would be very interesting what Cyril and Aspinall would do if Cyril could nullify the wrestling and BJJ of Aspinall. That would be very interesting because on the feet, it just snipers, right? Picking them apart.
Think about Cyril, and I love Cyril Gahn. So again, I'm biased, but think about this. We just watched 2-3 weeks ago fucking Francis Ngannou box with Tyson Fury and not lose. Right?
Yeah.
He didn't win the fight, but he didn't lose. He didn't come out of that looking. He looked as good as any MMA fighter has against
he
the
got
best boxer
ranked
on earth.
Did you see that the WBA ranked him number 10 heavyweight rankings?
Okay, that's
as
not happening
a
for John
boxer
Jones if he boxes.
with
No.
one fucking fight.
But who is the guy none of these guys have wanted to strike with? It's Cyril Gahn.
Yep.
Of course, yeah.
John Jones had zero interest in it. The three of us sat there and watched Francis try for 2 rounds and lose them and take a completely different approach, which, hey, more power to him. We watched Cyril Gahn absolutely piece apart everybody else they've put in there with him. So nobody wants to strike with him. So Tom Aspinall is not doing to Cyril Gahn what he just did to Sergey Pavlovich. I really do think it's rock, paper, scissors. I think Gahn beats Aspinall. I think Aspinall beats Jones. And I think Jones beats Gahn.
I like your MMA math.
And that is MMA math.
And this is MMA math. I don't think that's outlandish at all.
And unfortunately, it leaves our boy Stipe out in the Cleveland cold.
Dude, Stipe, just hang it up, dude. Go fight fires.
Buddy,
just do that.
He's probably made enough money from fighting. He could get endorsements. He's a legend in Cleveland. He never has to pay for dinner. He
can use words for full sentences.
He doesn't need to do it. He doesn't need to prove anything. He could open up Stipe Miocic's MMA and have 300 paying members the first 2 weeks. He has plenty of options. He could get a job with the UFC. There's all kinds of stuff he could do. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't. I cannot imagine he's fighting for the money. You're young. You have a 40. In life, 42 is not old.
In life he's 42. His wife and he seem to be very, interested in physical fitness. Like
yeah.
Here's what's
they
crazy.
Have a kid,
like,
maybe 2. Like just
the
don't.
internet says, okay, so here's what we said. Stipe, the winningest heavyweight, has defended the belt the most amount of times in UFC history. His net worth the internet says $4 million.
Okay.
He might have he could play that right.
But
Bro.
What do you think? That's low. That's less than he should have. I will give you that.
Far less.
Yes.
But I'm not mad at his wife either. I'll tell you that much. With respect, Stipe. With respect.
Yeah. Stay out of Cleveland.
Yeah, I will. For many reasons. I just, we don't need it, Stipe. You don't need to do it, man. You really don't. Firefighters make good money. Just go do that. Like, you don't.
If you're Stipe and they offer you Aspinall at 300, do you take it?
No.
Nope.
No? Only
No.
Jones?
Only Jones.
Only because John Jones isn't going to separate you from reality the way that Francis did. True.
Yeah, he would more likely submit you. I think that's how that would go.
I think it's a boring 5 round paw at each other, wrestle a little bit. John Jones outpoints him 4 rounds to 1 or something. I really don't think.
Yeah, like in that contest, John Jones is far more athletic and could do whatever he wants, and Stipe is just going to be there and try to pressure, and Johns could take it so many different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So we're thinking Tom is just gonna get back in the gym, train for an hour, and then
John Jones International Fight Week.
John says,
Oh,
"Hey,
you think that soon? You think July?
They're saying John could be back by then.
Okay. Well,
for a
apparently Aaron
torn
Rodgers is going to come
pectoral?"
back from a torn Achilles in 3 months. So,
African stem cells.
which I don't believe, by the way. I don't believe. Yeah, USADA stepping away is going to help John.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, or that he had a fully torn Achilles if he does. But that's neither here nor there.
So internet says that a torn pectoral recovery time could be 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, you gotta train and get yourself back into
Mm-hmm.
fighting condition. So add like a couple of months on top of that. So we're talking about 6 months potentially, which could put him in line for UFC 300.
Yeah.
And I don't like him fighting Stipe when you have an interim champion.
Yeah. What's that?
That's just
what's
gonna
that about?
that's hanging out. Like, what the fuck is that for? Why even have an interim championship if he's not going to be the next one to fight? But that may be what it ends up being.
Hey, that's an advantage of if you do Tom and Stipe at 300 is, either one wins, it does make for that big epic bang for John at the end if he beats either of them, because he either beats the winningest heavyweight champ of all time or the person who beat them, which I guess he already did with Francis. So never mind what I just said.
I think
But-
though, if John gets in there with a guy like Aspinall, he's really putting a lot on the
A
line. And look, John
ton.
Jones can very well beat Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
He's
But-
John Jones.
But Dana
Absolutely.
White,
But
if you say goodbye if you announce to the UFC that you're gonna leave, Dana White is gonna give you a tough one on your way out to lower your value after
I think
you're
it depends on who you are. So
If you're Nate Diaz, yeah.
if you're Nate Diaz, if you're Francis, you go fuck yourself. If you're John Jones, I don't know. John Jones, kind of a company man, right?
yeah,
And
like
I think that did you guys listen to Dana White on Theo Von's podcast?
No.
It's a good listen. And he still speaks so positively of Ronda Rousey
hmm
that I do think there's a list, the Dana White privilege thing. I think there's a list of fighters that he's gonna ride with them, and I think John Jones is on that list.
I think Rousey's gonna come back for 300.
I do too.
I really do. I
That's
think it's gonna be a
insane.
big surprise. And I think
It's in the lexicon. People, there's whispers.
hmm
Okay. So, all right. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I get it.
Yeah.
But who does she fight? Not Amanda. But,
I don't even know what weight class Ronda would be at this point. Is she
It would be
bantamweight?
135. That's what she fought.
So bantamweight.
Yeah, 135.
Yeah.
I
so
think
probably,
she should rematch Holly Holm.
or Juliana.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she fights
Ooh.
Juliana Pena, she'll lose. If she fights
Who
Holly,
is she beating? Maybe Holly. I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
Holly.
I think it's the other way. I think she would lose to Holly again, but beat Juliana. Because Juliana would want to wrestle, Ronda submit her. Holly
I
Holm would just
don't-
punch her in the face over and
I
over
but here's
don't
again.
the thing
believe
is
in
that-
Juliana Pena. So I think she could lose to anybody. I really do.
her ovaries are huge, though.
They're fucking
Yeah.
bowling balls.
They're
got enormous
bowling
ovaries,
balls
that's
in
true.
there. But
Anyway.
Holly, like the way Holly has fought in her last fight, she's been wrestling heavy. That plays right into Ronda. But like, let's be honest, like Ronda's had a kid or two.
And been
She's-
doing scripted fights.
Scripted fights. Is she working on her striking? Because we all know how that goes when she gets hit.
Yep. I don't know. But we can I think we should extrapolate on that maybe in like January when we
Is
really
she still married to Travis Brown? She is, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Did they got married?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely married. Which one? Yeah. And Pat Barry is with Rose Namajunas.
Ronda.
Oh, what a catch. No, never mind.
Ronda
they were married
is
in
on the
2017.
list, you guys.
Hmm?
Ronda's on the list.
Yeah. Her
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated was great.
Is that the one where she went nude?
Yes.
Fuck
It was
yeah.
like that's like the body episode, right?
That's
Where they
ESPN,
use
but
athletes.
yeah,
ESPN the
absolutely.
body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think she did. I don't think
Whoa.
she did sport. Did she do Sports Illustrated? Thought
I
she just
don't
did
know,
ESPN.
but if the picture that just came up is real, I am happy with her work. That looks real. I could believe that.
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
Yep. Good for you, Rhonda.
Music.
Good
are-
for you.
Good for Poeton.
Hell yeah.
So
Hey,
Hell yeah,
Counter.
segue.
we knew it was going to happen. We all talked about it.
we called it.
Strong
Yeah.
counter. That's it.
He's
Beautiful.
Yuri was absolutely out. That
Mhm.
other angle we saw from cage side is like, oh, that's not an early stoppage. Yuri said he was out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to respect the fighter if he says, yep, it was a good stoppage.
I counted
Believe him.
14 undefended strikes to the head. The fuck are we doing?
Yep.
You
Outta
need to
here.
see 3 more? Get out of here.
Yeah.
It's not an early stoppage.
What do you like for Yuri Prohaska next?
I have
gonna-
no fucking idea.
A light heavyweight.
Jamal Hill.
No, because Jamal's going to fight Pineda.
Poeton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
That's-
let's have a.
how long
let's
does
have-
that fight last? What's the over under in fight time on that?
Right.
That's under 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Yuri to fight. Let's have him fight Magomed.
Okay.
Yeah. Magomed is going to rematch Johnny Walker first. That's been announced.
Oh.
It has
Well, let's see.
Oh, and Jan is going to fight
was
Ratchich.
saying, is he?
Yep.
Jan was saying some shit about Alex.
Really?
Yeah.
Jan
on
is
social-
the
on
only
social
guy I
media.
think can beat him.
They could beat Alex.
Yeah.
You know, he does have pretty devastating leg kicks.
Styles
So
make fights.
that's-
Oh, Pajeda?
Both.
Oh, Bajeda does
Yeah.
for sure.
Ask
but
Yuri
also
Prohaska's front leg.
Jan has devastating leg kicks as well.
Like,
Jan, I think, could out wrestle him.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely could.
Mhm.
Every time one of those leg kicks landed, I couldn't believe that the first one nearly knocked Yuri down.
Yeah.
Alex Bajeda nearly had
Dude,
a knockdown.
You
on his
aren't
first strike.
kidding about
dude.
that. Good Lord, Alex Pajeda's so good.
Magomed stylistically, right, has the tools to beat Alex, but he just doesn't put it together when it comes to fights. He totally shits the bed.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Mike Tyson quote? Everybody's got to play until they get punched in the face.
That's it.
Yeah, until they get kicked in the calf.
I cannot even imagine how bad that would hurt.
And now it's time for the Pretty Neat Podcast picks.
What's Paul Allen's nickname?
All in.
Paul All In. Oh, that's right. That's why you mentioned it with the art
There's
earlier.
a Paul Allen, the Microsoft guy.
Brendan Allen. Sorry,
Brandon
Paul Allen.
Allen.
Paul
Paul
Allen.
Allen's the Microsoft guy. Now
Yes.
deceased, right?
I
Yes,
don't know.
now deceased.
Rest in peace, Paul Allen.
Isn't Paul Allen also a character who's murdered in American Psycho?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Patrick Bateman kills him, I think. Yes, I'm sure
It's
of this.
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman's the actor. Patrick Bateman's the killer in American Psycho.
Hmm.
Sorry, the
Wasn't that a
American
Kathy
Psycho.
Bates movie?
The American Psycho is Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, it was the character's name was Patrick Bateman, and the character that of Paul Allen that he kills was played by Jared Leto.
Yes. So if you wanted to see Jared Leto take an axe to the head, they do cut away right before
And
that
Jared
happens.
Leto is how we circle that back to UFC.
How
Look at us.
We're good. Welcome to the Pretty Neat Podcast. Pretty Neat Podcast picks. We're choosing a 6-pack.
6-pack of picks?
Yes. For this upcoming UFC card.
Let's
Which
do
is-
it. I'm in. All on the
Get
main
them
main
picks.
card, at least according to the
Yeah.
websites we're looking at. ESPN and the UFC have it that way. So
Yes.
Technically, main cards.
Yes, this card is happening on Saturday at the UFC Apex. And it's
So-
Brendan Allen and Paul the Bear Drew Craig.
For our picks, though, should we go bottom up?
Probably.
You guys know I like to go bottom
Started from the
up.
bottom.
Should I bring up
You see,
the
I went a
over-unders?
different direction with that.
What direction?
I said you guys know I like to go from the bottom first.
Yeah. Work my way up.
Yeah. Yeah, work my way right up there.
I skip 4 play. I go right to 5 play.
Yeah? What's 5 play?
Ask your mom.
Wow.
Damn.
Do you remember oh wait, no, never mind. That was at the other after
Oh,
never mind.
hey Ryan, we were texting the other day about our your favorite non-Chargers players.
Yeah.
Your answer actually really did surprise me, but Justin Tucker is on the list for me of guys that I like that are not Rams.
So what's your admiration of Justin Tucker?
Did you see the game-winning
What's the basis of it?
78-yard field goal he hit last year? The Ravens kicker?
I know who he is, yeah. And
Yeah.
I know he's very good and very
Yeah.
accurate and has a very strong leg. And
I
he's
just
a
like
very
a-
good football player.
It wasn't 78, but it was like a 64-yard game-winning field goal last year.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably the best kicker in the history of the NFL, right?
Probably, yeah. But he is not my
But
favorite.
of all the non-Rams,
Uh-huh.
you choose a kicker?
No. I'm just saying he's one of the guys that I like. Do you want to hear the other ones? Did you freeze? Oh, he froze.
No.
I froze.
Okay.
No,
Do you want to hear the other ones?
Other players?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
I like TJ Watt and Max Crosby and Joe Burrow. That's more what you were probably expecting to hear.
All right, Max Crosby, I like. He's very open about his issues with alcohol.
Yes,
and now
which
he's
I
sober
respect.
and he just fucking crushes it. He plays like 98% of all the snaps, and he's like the only good defensive player on the Raiders. And he's still getting sacks. TJ Watt is a beast. I respect that as well. Joe Burrow, like, is it just because of his ability to just win? Like,
I just think
calm,
he's
cool,
good.
and collected. Joe,
I just think
Cool.
he's good. I think if I could have a quarterback other than, I guess, Mahomes, even then I might take Burrow. I don't know. I feel like if I was running a team and I had to be around one of them all the time, I'd more want to be around Burrow than Mahomes.
Okay.
In case you were wondering. Where's Shohei Ohtani going to sign before we do our picks? Speaking of things we should be able to bet on.
Shit. So did you hear the recent news that the Cubs are all in on him?
Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. Did you hear what the Cubs did with their manager?
No.
They fired whoever it was and then convinced Craig Counsell to come over from the Brewers. And apparently Craig Counsell is like widely regarded as the best manager in baseball, like in baseball circles. They say he's the guy. Ohtani did
Craig
win
Counsell,
the MVP.
he was I know that name. He's a former player, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Ohtani and Ronald Acuna were named unanimous MVP today, which is pretty interesting.
Saw that.
It's rare both of them are unanimous. Anyway, they lured him away, and apparently the owner of the Brewers was, when they came in and told him he was leaving, he was like, "Are you fucking with me? Like, we're in the playoffs every year. We're competitive. He has a good deal." But the Cubs gave him a fucking boatload of money. So I could see that being the precursor to like hey, we're serious about this. And apparently Shohei, the three teams that keep coming up for him at this point, other than the Dodgers, are the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Rangers. And this is how much of fucking Cubs Angel fans are.
Red Sox, I get.
The Angels play the Rangers at Angel Stadium 7 to 12 times a year. This is, again, I'm going to say it again. This is how much of cucks Angels fans are. They'll cheer him. They'll cheer him when he comes up to bat in a fucking Rangers uniform. That's what will happen. I won't. I will be booing him. But they'll cheer him.
There you go.
I don't think he signs with the Rangers.
I don't
Welcome
think
to
so
Texas.
either, actually.
You don't.
Where's he going to go?
I could see him going to the Red Sox.
I could see it. Red Sox.
the ownership, right, has no problem spending that cash. They own
Mhm.
the English Premier League team, so
Yeah. Let him bring
Liverpool.
his dog.
what's
He
that?
doesn't have a dog.
Didn't he take a picture with his dog recently?
Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. You ready?
Yes.
I think it is one of two teams for him. Do you know which
Okay.
two they are?
The Dodgers or the Angels?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I thought
one.
too.
I think it's one of those two teams.
Yeah,
I think he is a
Dodgers.
guy. I think he is a guy that very seriously values being able to do his thing all the time. Apparently he does very much respect what the Dodgers do. How could you not? Um, they will both give him the money. I really do think he did take a picture with his dog though. I really think he values his ability to be in 100% complete control of what he does. The Angels obviously give him that. I'm not sure that the Dodgers will. Um, they'll both give him 50 plus a year, no problem.
Yep.
So I think it's one of those two teams. I am on record. They should have traded him 2 years ago. I don't necessarily want him back. This is not like my biased Angels opinion. I am not a Dodger fan. I'm an Angel fan, but I'm not a biased Angel fan. Actually, my grandma, not always the voice of reason, said something super reasonable to me the other day. She goes, honestly, I'm at a point where the goal should be just win one more game than we did last year. And I'm like, that is a sensible argument.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Let's root for that. Obviously, if he wants to resign, that's great. But I think it's just one of those two teams for him. I really do.
I think that's very plausible, quite honestly. What you already said about his respect for the Angels and allowing him to just play baseball, essentially, is it can't be overlooked. And you've already said the Angels are Angels and their fans. I think you've more said it's the fans, the cuckness of the Angels fans. I think that extends to the Angels ownership team as well. And they're just saying, we'll do whatever you want. We'll do whatever
in fact,
you want.
I'll go sit over there and cry in the corner.
No,
what does Michael Caine say? Some men just like to watch the world burn.
the Angels, yeah, I mean they set the fire, but yeah, they'll stay.
I do not want them to sign him to a 10 to 12 year, not really financially hamstringing deal because he generates so much. I just, will
he be worth that? Because
not if he can't pitch, no.
If he can't pitch, he's not worth the money.
Not 50 mil.
At some point, you're thinking he won't pitch, but he could still DH.
No, I actually think they'll put him in left field or right field.
So I was going to say,
apparently,
I think right field.
Apparently, he is a Gold Glove level outfielder.
I mean, he's Shohei Ohtani. He's very good at baseball.
That's what they say. And actually, Joe Madden's first year managing the club, they did have to, before the Ohtani rule was in effect, they did have him play the outfield a couple of times for an inning or two to get his next at bat in. So they've done it. But he wouldn't full-time play in a position until he was no longer pitching. But any team that signs him has to be on board with the two-way thing. It's the cost of entry for him.
I agree. Like he's adamant. I want to pitch and I want to hit. So,
and he's fucking great at both when he does. So you
for
can't
now, for probably like 5 years.
3.
Yeah.
But hey, okay. I say 3. Who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? Anyway, that's what I think. I actually think the Ron Washington signing too to manage the team, that was a little bit out of nowhere. That everyone was saying it was going to be Buck Showalter, and they went with Ron Washington. I don't think that's for no reason. So again, I don't necessarily want him back. I wouldn't turn him down, but I don't want him back. I'm not Again, I do think in a weird way they could be better without him. I just, you know. Anyway, that's been the baseball talk everyone wants to hear in the middle of November. So,
Uh,
yeah.
I can't
Aaron,
get
what are you
enough.
doing?
I just can't get enough of this guy's face.
So let's do some picks, right? This is Miktibek Orolbai.
He looks like he's trying to figure out how his name sounds.
Right? He is a minus 245 favorite to win this fight.
Well, and it's his UFC debut.
Ooh.
So that's strong.
That means
strong
they know something about him.
Yeah,
And Uros is he's 9-1 professionally. He's only had one loss.
Yeah.
So what does this guy do? Right? Is he a wrestler? Because I know Uros is not a wrestler.
So wait, is this fight on any? Are there any? Is there any pick we can make on this?
I think this was late. This was a late addition to the card.
I don't see it on any of the boards. So are we going to have to go to Jonathan Pierce and Joe Anderson Brito?
Yes.
Because they are on there.
Yes.
God damn. All right.
Yeah. So Jonathan Pierce, Joe Anderson
Brito.
Oh,
so Joe Anderson Brito is from Brazil. We just had a student, a 7th grader, move to our school from Brazil, like Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I'm talking to him the other day. He's a great kid. He speaks very little English. And I go, hey, dude, do you play soccer? He goes, yes. I go, I bet you do. Guess what? You're the starting forward on the team now, buddy. and you're going to put up 8 goals a game.
Okay,
so he's from Brazil.
So we're going over on 8 goals.
I was talking to the coach and he goes, I don't think he speaks that much English. I go, hey man, he speaks football.
He speaks football.
Okay.
Right.
Give him a jersey.
He speaks the football.
Give him a jersey. Point him towards the field. He can figure it out. He'll be all right.
That's good. I like it. And
all right, so we're going to a featured prelim here.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Pierce was a Contender Series.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been knocking people out in the first round.
So the one that jumps out at me is fantasy score, which is 76.5.
Mm-hmm.
If we think he can achieve an early knockout, I don't hate that. Fight time 10 minutes. Don't hate the under either.
No.
It's pretty close odds. He's only a minus 130.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do we know about Brito?
Takedown defense.
See, I think that Brito actually has a very good chance of winning this fight.
Can he do it in less than 10 minutes?
They're both going to be going for takedowns.
Because remember, we're not picking the winner, but takedowns tend to be longer fights.
I mean, these guys both throw with a lot of speed. They're both landing over 4 per minute. So is there a significant stride option on here?
Better defense.
Ooh, 42.5 is not bad when he's throwing 30 in a round.
Are we saying this fight goes the distance and he's averaging 6 strikes landed per minute? If it goes the full distance, he definitely goes over.
Yeah. I like Joe Anderson. I think he's going to finish him.
So Joe Anderson in his last 5 fights, is that Diego Lopez? Beat him on the Contender Series.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's
Loses
why I like
to Bill Algeo by unanimous decision. Beats Andre Feely in the first round, knocks him out 41 seconds in. L. Alexander, I don't know who that is, subs him in the first round, and then he beat Wade Wilson in the first round as well in July.
Yep. Yeah, that's...
Oh, none of you caught it. Damn it.
That's why
Wade Wilson, Deadpool?
Wade Wilson is fucking Deadpool. It's Weston Wilson.
That's lame.
Nobody beats. I mean, you can beat Wade Wilson, but he'll come back.
That's true.
See, that's where you kind of... These choosing Jonathan to go over on anything is to choose him to win.
Right. Or to
I think.
survive through the first round. It
Yeah.
sounds like his opponent is like a all or nothing kind of guy first round.
Yeah. Yeah. Which actually could lend to a finish for Pierce in the second or third if Brito gasses.
So Brito
I like
has
Brito.
So if
has
you like Brito,
Maybe the
and we
under
think
10
that
minutes.
I think the under 10 minutes, that's where I was going with that as well.
good Lord. This is a guy that in 19 professional fights has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 of his 19 fights have ended in the first round.
Yeah.
So we have a more likely chance.
2 more ended in the second round, which still gives us the under 10.
Yep. I'm kind of
So
liking the under 10.
we want the under.
So that's Pierce at under 10. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I like that pick.
All right.
Because significant strikes, like we're talking about, if Brito comes out blasting, Jonathan Pierce isn't getting that.
We hit the Mackenzie Dern significant strikes, but I just don't know.
Jonathan Pierce, the 76.5 would be if he finished it in the first or second round, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would have to be.
Takedowns, 2.
Which,
Yeah, he would have to
man,
have a knockdown.
boy, did we hit the Alex Pajeda over on Fantasy Score. You're welcome, America. It was like 115.
Yeah, well, that's what you do.
That's
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the taking of the under on 9 minutes because it ended at 9 minutes and like 14 seconds
But I
or
had
something.
the over on a different ticket, so it was 9 minutes 8 seconds.
That's so wild. So Jonathan Pierce, we made the first pick of the 6-pack.
All right.
Yep. All right. So
love
we're
a six-pack.
bypassing the main card curtain jerker because there is no value there since we got Mick DeBeck making his UFC debut. So we got Amanda Ribas
and Luana Pinheiro.
They are also not on the board.
Really?
I don't see them.
They're on here somewhere.
No, Amanda's on there somewhere. Go to
Significant strikes. Amanda's on there. Yeah, significant strikes, fantasy score, and takedowns.
Okay.
Does Aaron scroll up for me?
Yeah.
There's a search bar. You can if you type in Hebus.
Oh, nice.
She will.
Does it just bring up? There we go.
Brings up
this
all
is
of our
way
options
easier.
for her. Yeah.
All right, so let's look at takedowns. Right, the over under's 1.5. Let's go to her fight stats.
Yeah.
And see what she averages because
I really like where you're headed with this.
I'm leaning that one. So she's 2.27 per 15.
It's 1.5.
She's likely to get 2, and her opponent's takedown defense is 50%.
She's also a minus 245 favorite here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go back to her stats and then let's look at strikes as well. And let's look at her opponent's defense.
70.5 is a lot of significant strikes.
So she's landing just shy of 5, which means she's averaging less than 75 for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Her significant strikes are only 42% of that because we're talking about total strikes landed versus significant strikes. And then her opponent's defense is 63%. If you look at what is considered like normal par for the course, it's about 55% striking defense. So I'm still on the takedowns here. Do we think that Amanda gets a finish?
So she has in her last 5 3 decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, almost half of all of her fights are going to decision.
Yeah. More than half. No, sorry. No, just about half. 7 finishes in her wins anyway. No, I'm sorry. She's 4-0 in submissions, 2 and 3 in knockouts. So 7 no, that's not 7. That's 9. 9 of 15.
Yeah.
So just a little more than half.
So I don't like the fact that Pinheiro's last win over the Karate Hottie was a split decision because no offense to the Karate Hottie, but
She got
her
ass
best
kicked.
days. Her
I,
best
I
days in
don't
MMA are behind her.
I don't feel like you really have to explain why you don't love that.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
Split
She is on a
decision
5-fight win
loss.
streak. Nope, she's not. She has not lost since 2017. Granted, I would imagine that the Karate Hottie is the only fighter on this list we've ever heard of.
Oh, Macy Barber knocked out Hebus.
Well, Macy Barber, she's kind of an enigma, right? She looks
Rodriguez
great,
knocked
and
out
then she looks
Hebus.
like
She's like Mackenzie Dern in that way.
yeah, all over the place, all over the board.
So I think I don't.
Are we thinking Hebos under on the significant strikes?
I'm really leaning towards Hebus under on the significant strikes.
It's
So
either
is
that
I.
or over on the takedowns, or
Under on the fantasy score.
yeah, I just feel like if it ends up going all 15, we could get fucked and it gets to 83.
Yeah. Well, I actually really like Pinero in this one. Hebus is
Oh.
also dropping weight. This is her debut at this weight, so she's down. And fighters
Is this
who
a
are
115?
yeah, and fighters who are a little bit been knocked out shouldn't really drop a weight like a couple of times. Like that
Who has been knocked out?
Hebus.
Hebos.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
twice. And once
Hmm.
was most recently. So her last fight she was knocked out.
By Macy
Now she's
Barber, yeah.
dropping weight. I feel like if Luana catches her, and Luana had knockdowns in her fighting average, like Hebus doesn't. I actually think Luana has a really good chance of winning this fight and finishing it, which still lends itself to the lower significant strikes bet.
Mm-hmm.
Because like 70 significant strikes across 3 rounds, because I mean, what is that?
So 4.73 times 15
Like she would have to be on her game to get 70.
is 70.95. So they've got the number correct.
Mm-hmm.
But she would have to be at her average for all 15 minutes of the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we're also saying like we're just talking about strikes landed. Here's the
No, isn't that
thing
significant strikes per minute? I don't. It goes back to the opinion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's subjective.
Yeah. Well, like if it is significant strikes per minute, then she's barely going to get there if she's fighting an average fight.
Or we're overthinking it and the 2 takedowns happen pretty easily and really doesn't have anything to do with the outcome of the fight.
Could be too. Like maybe she's dropping weight so she'll have a size advantage and be able to use her wrestling more.
Yeah, that's also valid, right? She
So
employs a
plans on
will,
using takedown heavy.
dominates, and then what? It's like pressure from top position.
Yeah, which you can get a lot of significant strikes with some elbows and ground and pound. Oh boy, I'm really torn on Hebus now. I still like the less on significant strikes the most, but now the more on takedowns.
I'm like 1A, 1B,
Mhm.
significant strikes and then takedowns on an over.
Yeah.
Takedowns, it's the over. Significant strikes is the under. I just don't know which one I feel more
Yeah.
comfortable with.
Well, you're an over guy. You're not an under guy.
I am. I super struggle with it.
Yeah, and I'm an under guy because it's sort of hedging the bet in case Luana lands something
Right.
cool on a
You're
weak-chinned dropped
you're
weight
also
fighter.
yeah. Oh,
But-
hey, that's a valid point. That's a
But the
valid
problem
point.
with that argument is women's strawweight, they very rarely like fucking Valentina, Jessica I.
Yeah.
Like it's typically a TKO where they've landed several on the ground or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a volume thing,
Yeah.
not a
It is
one
a-
shot
it's a-
thing.
It's an accumulation for sure.
And
Which at that point, come on, Odell, get in the end zone.
I already
That's-
got the over on Odell, 26 yards. Hell yeah.
That was a real bad look by me. I had Mark Andrews at over 4.5. And as we talked about, good guy app that we're not going to name because we do think we can get sponsored by them in our own heads.
It could happen.
They
Nothing
ended
will-
up taking Mark Andrews, Baltimore's tight end, off the board, even if you bet him. So I love it,
I think I took the over on.
which is why I'll continue to be a customer.
I think I took the over on Lamar's yardage as well. So I'm feeling good.
Okay. This is the best Thursday night game we've had in a while.
It is.
Also, like secretly,
and Joe's hurt too.
Mm-hmm. The notice they didn't take him off the board though. I don't think. Secretly, the NFL this year is really good. No, don't come off the field, Odell. I need Odell or Lamar Jackson to score a touchdown. Come on, Lamar. Let's go. No, we're close. All right, we're inside 10. You can do it. You can do it 8. Let's go. Anyway, sorry. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. On this one, I don't know. And I guarantee you, this is the one we're gonna come back and talk about being like, man, we fucked that up. It's gonna feel obvious, and we're gonna be on the wrong side of it. Whichever one we pick, that's how it's gonna be.
The obvious one to me leans towards strikes.
Yeah, I'm with the strikes.
Going under?
Going
Under
under.
strikes.
All right.
We're gonna do it.
All right, yeah.
After the second takedown, we'll be pissed.
I
Unless she submits her, then it's
He's
fine.
like, we could have had it.
Yeah. Early submission,
All right.
Amanda. Get it done.
Club
Okay.
and sub.
Now we've got
so
and only one
what the fuck is going on with Peyton Talbot's? Expand that for me. Is this just an ESPN thing?
-9 800.
No. There's like does he have a thing on his sternum?
Oh,
ESPN has him with like a blotch on his sternum. Yeah. Oh, it's a tattoo.
Yeah, it's a tattoo.
Okay. In black and white, which is what ESPN has him in, it does not look like that. Also, why would you get that tattooed on you anyway?
I don't know.
maybe he's covering a birthmark. That's
Okay, we're
embarrassing.
inside 4 rounds for 4 yards rather for the Ravens. Let's get a QB sneak touchdown, please.
Let's bring up Peyton.
Okay, so Peyton Talbot or whatever Aguirre. What's his first name?
Nick.
Nick.
That's what I thought it was. It's Peyton Talbot is the name on the board.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so we have basically finished within the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for fight time.
So let's see. Talbot is KOing and winning most of his fights.
Look at that shit.
He is a
nearly-
minus 950.
He's landing 9.67 per minute.
Let's look at. Do we have a average fight time for this guy? Do we have
It
anything?
says
in the matchup
15 on UFC. So
That's not correct.
That's
so
definitely not right.
that's because he
Yeah.
has one UFC fight which did go 5 rounds or 3 rounds. That was on the Contender Series. In Uriah Faber's A1, he has 2 second-round finishes and a third-round finish. In Firepower Promotions MMA 4 Sudden Impact, sorry, he had a fight that was finished in the 3rd round. Those are his last
Okay,
5.
so the inside 2 rounds is not a given. He
No.
is finishing fights. So fantasy score, second round finish gives you
Actually, all of his finishes have come in the 2nd round.
what? Okay.
Wow. So that 975 is a little kind of sexy.
He's got to finish in within
No, sorry. No, he
15
has
seconds.
He has 2 finishes in the 3rd.
How does he finish people?
Knockout.
Hmm.
This is a
Okay.
very difficult
This is tough. This is a
Yeah.
tough
choice. The fantasy score is too high to me.
It is too high for a
That's
second
like-
round finish.
That's like 2 knockdowns in the 1st round and then a finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or multiple submission attempts,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So fantasy
So,
scores.
I mean, The best one's a second round finish, like taking the under on the fight time.
I think so.
It's the most logical pick.
Yeah.
And
let's
The opposite of the fight before this, we won't feel bad when we don't hit it because there's no obvious choice.
Go back to the stats. Let's look at his opponent and Nick
It's real
McGuire.
hard because it's Uriah Faber's A1.
He also
and
has 6
firepower
first round
promotions.
finishes. So look at that. Knockout, submission, 6 wins by first round finish.
But
Okay.
while it doesn't factor into what we're doing, Talbot is a minus 950.
Yeah. They definitely think he's getting this.
Minus 900 on ESPN's website, but Caesars and ESPN or ESPN Bet now, which is a whole other thing we could talk about on a slow fight week.
And look at this fucking guy.
Oh, sorry, minus 800 on UFC. That's a massive favorite.
And look at Nick's record. He has only been out of the first round twice. And
so it's the under on Fight Time.
Yeah, it's the under on Fight Time.
Okay.
These guys are gonna light each other up, and somebody's gonna die. Oh yeah, I remember this, Nick. That's Argetta. Never mind.
Yeah. So to this point, we're 3 of 6 in.
Yep.
I love this fucking format we're doing, you guys. We've got less on Fight Time for Jonathan Pierce, less significant strikes for Amanda Ribas, and now less on Fight Time for Peyton Talbot. Ryan, you feel good about the Peyton Talbot one?
I feel really good considering his opponent is also an early finisher, which leads itself to having
we don't need him to win
fight in the first round. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need him to win. We just need it to not go 2 rounds.
Yep.
I feel good. I feel great.
I feel good. Good.
Feel good. Feel good.
Shout out Jim Carrey.
Good. Oh wait, yeah. Good call. What movie is that from? Is that from
I
Mask?
don't know. No, it's not. We gotta know now.
Okay, yep. It's good.
We gotta know.
It's
good. Feel good.
I feel like it's when he's like nervous talking.
It's Bruce Almighty.
Okay, that makes sense. I fucking love that movie.
Bruce Almighty, great movie or greatest movie?
Well, Sandlot's the greatest movie. So.
Also, Ryan, you want to do it now or should we do it later?
What?
What are we doing?
Hey, everyone who didn't like the Marvels, go ahead and go fuck yourself.
Dude, super fun movie.
That movie was fucking
so much
awesome.
Fun.
So
good.
much
fun.
So much fun.
You, one of the best mid-credit one of the best mid-credit scenes in some time.
That's an exceptionally difficult power rankings that we definitely should do someday.
Like mid-credit stingers.
But there was no post-credit, right?
There's no post-credit, just mid-credit.
Okay. Why can I not? Oh, it was good. It was good.
It was good. Yeah, because it's opening up a whole new world,
and
as Aladdin would say.
No spoilers, but the other individual that was in that is real high on my personal list.
Who?
I can't tell you, but because it spoils it. But you know what I'm talking about, Ryan?
Brie Larson?
The person in the mid-credit stinger?
Not one of the Marvels that was in it, but the other one. Do I not remember what the mid-credit stinger was? Hang on, let me Google.
I'm like thinking who that would be.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. It's Beast. Yeah, there's a spoiler for you. Go fuck yourselves if you haven't seen it. No, it's sorry, at the very end when she's talking about building a team.
Oh, Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, big fan of her work.
Haley Steinfeld, Hawkeye. Yeah.
Also, whatever, if you haven't seen it, you should, but there's a real awesome mid-credit scene. And you're right, one of the best for sure. It's top 7 or 8 for sure.
Did you know that the actress who played Darben, that's Tom Hiddleston's baby mama?
I think I did know that.
Yeah.
They also should have called her Spectrum. That was my only issue because in the Marvel Snap card game, Spectrum is a really good card.
It's a really good card.
Do you play Marvel Snap?
I do.
God, I fucking knew we'd be friends. I knew the second I met you, I'm like, oh, I love this guy.
It's a great card, and throughout the whole movie, I think Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan did say the word Spectrum,
She did,
but they like brushed past it and just kept going with the names,
kind of like they did with War Machine. Because they call him the Iron Patriot, like in the lexicon of the MCU. But the Spectrum card is a little bit deck specific. Like it has to be in the right deck, but it's a good card.
I like the okay. We could sidebar later, but I'm a big fan of like building a strategic deck.
Yes. Yes, there's a whole online community for that too.
Oh, yes, there is. Hey,
there
what works well with this? Oh, okay. You want to do this or you want to do this?
Yep.
It's great. I love a good strategy card game.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Marvel Snap.
Snap. Come on,
you have taken many of my $10 season passes.
We should
okay. We're up to the dream?
Oh, dude, when they nerfed She-Hulk, that pissed me the fuck off. Oh, I was so mad. That card was so good. And then they're like, oh, no. We made a mistake with this one. You know, you don't get a free 9 point. No, you can't have that.
It's too good. It's too good.
And it was, in fairness, it was. Aaron, you obviously don't play Marvel Snap, do you?
I don't play Marvel Snap. Okay. I'm sorry.
I took my baby because he does baby stuff. And so now we do a lot of the baby swap things on rides when we go to Disneyland. Because he's a baby and so he can ride very minimal things. And I took him into the new Marvel store that they have there at Avengers Campus and like really almost bought him a Stormbreaker that is like 3 times his size to put in his room. And I didn't, and here's why. The old ball and chain. That's just kidding.
That's why.
I don't get any design decisions in our house. I get, and I mean by any I mean exactly 0. I got to choose the TV, but I did not get to choose how it was mounted or how, I don't get any say. But when we found out he was a boy, she was like, well, what kind of theme do you want to do in his room? And I was like, sports. And so we have gone with that. So the Stormbreaker would not have fit in there, but yeah.
Either way.
Anyway, that's our little parenting aside, which neither of you
what sport
either get to or have to deal with because it is both.
Hey.
So also he has Captain America pajamas, so that's pretty sweet.
That's pretty.
And the feet have the little wings on them. And he's a baby, so he likes movement and color, and so Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is his jam.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good times.
Nice.
Pizza Flop Over. Shout out at Toontown. Pizza Flop Over.
So
that's also Chase Hooper's favorite ride.
Also, we talked about the cold. I haven't had the cold brew that they do there because isn't it butterscotch? Or caramel. I don't love caramel, but
we just went on Monday,
and
it's the holiday food festival at DCA.
Oh fuck yeah!
So we spent a majority of our time there.
That's
and just
so
yeah. Things.
We're going tomorrow night. And that will be most of what we do.
Yeah. Good call.
All right. Chase Hooper.
Teenage Dream.
Almost old enough for the other rides.
Like is he playing on the fact that he looks young, or is he a big Katy Perry fan?
I don't understand. I'm a big Katy Perry fan. I don't understand the nickname change. I don't like it. I'm the official nickname czar and I don't approve it. So
rejected. You've been denied.
Yeah. Forget name champion status. His name Chumpion.
Chump.
I don't know where to go with this pick either.
I don't think he's gonna win.
Okay.
I just don't know how he's gonna lose.
And
I
that's fair. He is a
he
slight favorite, minus 210.
which I have to think it's because I mean his jujitsu game is what made him. Like he was a prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was discovered that uh you can punch him, and that's what people did, and he lost a bunch of fights.
You can punch him.
Yeah. But in the last fight, it turns out he learned to punch back. Uh, but it's not crisp. I don't think he has the discipline that Jordan Levitt has.
He's not
Uh,
carrying power.
not no power. There's no, I mean, I know he won by TKO last time, but it was after, I mean, he had to beat the guy up for a long time, and the other guy let him.
So this
So,
guy has been fighting in some sort of official organized MMA since he was like 16 or 17.
hmm
That's crazy.
yeah. I mean, Jordan Levitt, I mean, he's been fighting at least as long.
Here's why I'm struggling. Jordan Levitt is 28. He's also been fighting since 2017. So um since he was what, 21, not a young or not an old start to his career for sure.
No.
Jordan Levitt lost to Patty Pimblett. So I'm struggling. I don't know what to, and Claudio Puelles, who we were just talking about. So I don't know what to do with this.
That
Hmm.
yeah. I
The 1.5
Yeah.
takedowns is such a low number that it appeals to me.
but he is a jiu-jitsu guy, and if the opportunity's there, he'll take it. He will.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if you're saying like jujitsu guy
And
and
Jordan
taking the
Levitt will
opportunity,
welcome
that
it.
means pulling guard, right? I mean, that's not taking somebody down, that's pulling
Yeah.
guard.
Good
And
point.
he averages 1.47 per 15 minutes. So the over worries me. Although Levin only has a 30% takedown defense.
Hmm.
22% accuracy. Yeah, Chase Hooper's not a takedown guy.
Yeah, let's I mean, what does his stats look like?
It makes me almost want to take fantasy score
The under?
to under, but I don't want to keep
Yeah, I
choosing
would think it
under.
under. Like he has a very high significant strikes landed per minute at 5
So is the over the number there?
at 47.5. If he's landing 5, right, he's going to if it goes the distance, he's going to get 75.
It could be.
But if it doesn't go what is
I don't think either of these guys
average
have.
fight time?
I don't think either of these guys have the power to knock each other out.
So 1, 2, 3 of his last like 7 fights have gone the distance for Chase.
Yeah, for Chase, his last fight was a UD 3 rounds. Then he lost in the first round. Then he won in the third round, right? 3 minutes into the third round. So almost a full fight. Then he lost a UD. Then he won a via submission, which was 3 minutes and 2 seconds into the third round.
Mm-hmm.
So he's averaging almost a full 15 minutes in his last 5.
But 14.75 is tough because that late finish is always lingering.
Yeah, which is why I still like the over on the significant strikes, considering what is his significant strikes landed is currently right now. And if I look at Jordan Levitt and I go over to his stats, right?
The fight would have to go just about 2 rounds for him to get to 48
Kind of
Yeah.
liking that.
at his average.
Yeah. And I mean the most like the prop to win by decision or to have it go by decision is
Plus 150. So they think that's going to happen.
they think that's going to happen too.
Okay.
I can see that.
So Chase at over. So to that point, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of his last 6 have gone into the third round. I feel confident if it gets into the third round, he can get that significant strike number.
That's where I'm leaning as well.
And it seems like it probably will.
I think so.
Okay.
Yep. So we're going over 47.5 significant strikes for Chase.
Yeah, I don't hate that logic for that.
I don't either, even with my logic being that I think Jordan will get this one. I do think it will be points and damage. I because Chase gets ripped open also. So he could have a bad look, but again, this is still that significant strikes. I still think he can get over that
Yeah.
if they're brawling. Cool. That brings us
So Michael Morales is the name on the board here.
to the co-main event.
Yep.
Versus Jake Matthews. We've got 3 options.
So basically under
Under 2 rounds.
under 2 rounds.
Well, 2.5,
40.
I guess.
I feel like it's significant strikes or fantasy score.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah, but let's look at his finishes. I think he's a finisher. So if he finish it, if he takes it in the first round, he goes over.
Well, he beat our guy. He beat our guy Max Griffin in his last fight.
Pummeled him.
Unanimous decision. But that went all 3 rounds.
How many strikes did he throw?
Probably a lot.
All of the strikes.
Is it Adam Fuggett? Yes. He beat him in the 3rd round via knockout. That was at Pena Nunez too. So he has not been super active. He beat Trevin Giles in the 1st round at 270. Oh, we were there for that. I don't remember him at all.
73 strikes.
Against
72
Max
significant.
Griffin?
72 significant. And that was a decision. So.
Okay.
That 45. Over.
What about the Fuggett fight? Can you find that?
Yeah. Fuggett.
Because that one ended a minute and 9 seconds into the 3rd round, rather. Actually, 3 of his last 4 have gone into the 3rd round. 2 of them went to the cards, and then he has 2 knockouts. In fact, those are his only 4. That's 3 UFC fights in a contender series.
There it is.
That's 89 strikes.
83 significant.
2 takedowns.
He's doubling this over under if it goes the distance.
It has to go that far, though. He's a minus 310 favorite. Jake Matthews, on the other hand, submitted at Poirier Gaethje 2,
Moonies?
submitted Darius Flowers, lost to Semi the Jedi via UD, knocked out Fiallo in the 2nd, got subbed by Sean Brady in the 3rd. That Diego Sanchez beat him by decision. So he fights deep into the night. But so kind of does Michael Morales, doesn't he?
Yep. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards the over on the significant strikes.
Or on fight time. You take the under. Yeah, see, the under on fantasy score just scares me. I'm so afraid of the flash knockout.
Yeah,
me too.
So Morales over on fight time or over significant strikes?
That's where I'm leaning.
I think significant strikes. That's my opinion.
All right.
I think Jake is tough, and I'm not like super high on significant strikes over fight time, but I feel like with the amount that he lands, and we just looked at his most recent fights and what he's getting, 46.5 seems like he'll do that inside 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think a late TKO, like late round 2, mid round 3.
Okay.
After a lot of back and forth. And I think there'll be some good grappling in this one too, because Jake will want to bring it down and try and do something. We got it. Now we get to go into the main event with just Brendan Allen and Paul the Bear Jew Craig. Brendan All In Allen.
So Brendan Allen, he's on a winning streak. My initial thoughts, like that significant strikes, he would
Yeah,
go over,
he
right?
should. He's gotta wanna hit Paul Craig, right?
Paul Craig is no stranger to trying to pull guard, which makes him hittable
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
He's landing just short of 4 minute or four significant strikes per minute, which that means he does that inside a round and a half if it goes that round, which makes sense. The over under on that fight is 7.5 minutes.
Yep.
So looking at Brendan Allen's last 5 fights, here's the rub, right? His last fight, Bruno Silva, round 1 sub. Then the Andre Muniz, where it was the sub in round 3. And then the Christoph Jotko sub in round 1. He went the distance with Jacob Malkoon, and then he subbed Sam Alvey, our guy Sam Alvey, in round 2 back in 2022. So this year, 2 subs, 1 in round 3, 1 in round 1.
Well, this makes me like the significant strikes for the they're both gonna it's that same thing. What happens when two ground fighters face each other? They
Right.
box. They're gonna hit each other. So like to me it kind of lends to that. Or the under 2.5 rounds.
I think
But
that's
like
right.
I don't
Let's
know.
let's look at Paul Craig. Paul Craig's first fight, his debut at 185, he fought Andre Muniz. So we have a common fighter. He knocked out Andre Muniz in round 2.
Mhm.
440 in though.
Paul Craig saying, "Yes, I will stand and trade with you," which
Mhm.
leads me to want
He lost
to take the over on the significant strikes even more.
He broke he
It
broke Jamal
scares
Hill's
me.
arm.
Oh, you're saying the over on significant strikes?
For
Over.
for Allen, Brendan
30
Allen.
and a half is real low.
It's very low. It's like
It's low for him.
It's almost as if like we're the sharps are expecting this to go ground only. So Aaron, go to Paul Craig on the UFC. Let's go back to the fight odds and see what we have for finishes.
Yeah.
Paul Craig does not go to the cards. His last 5
No.
fights to decision.
Nope. Win by
Okay, so there's
20
subs.
knockout or sub. That's how he wins.
No decisions for Paul Craig and very little for Brendan Allen. Average fight time 750, 831. Okay. Really good on the over under for fight time for Brendan Allen. Let's look at go scroll up and look at the odds. All right. So he's a minus 425.
That's a
KO.
heavy favorite here.
Yes.
Don't underestimate the fact that Paul Craig might be much bigger than him.
Yep.
Well, coming down from 205, yes. I
Yeah.
agree with that. So like the bet right now, the 2 heaviest bets are Brendan by KO or submission. I don't know if Paul Craig gets knocked out
I mean,
He got knocked out by Johnny Walker.
yeah.
at
Will he-
205.
Will he
Yeah.
make that mistake though too? Like going for that single leg and leaving the side of his head, especially after what Alex did last week. Like I feel like that exposure is exposed.
Hey.
And I think he might avoid that.
Arnold
And
Allen, or Brandon Allen rather, is not going to knock out Paul Craig.
I agree,
He has literally
but I
in
think
the
he'll hit him a lot.
UFC. He has 1 knockout victory in the UFC. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
And
that to me says over 30.5.
yeah, he hits
Yeah.
people, but they don't go down. Because yeah, when you're
Yeah.
landing 4 a minute like that, and
The
he's a
30 and a
club
half is just low.
he's a club and subber, like it feels like, and yeah, 30.5 is just low. It really is. You're right.
But they
I
think
think
he's
that's
going to
a-
submit him.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
think
that's why
where all the
takedowns
money's
isn't
coming
up
in.
there. Yeah.
All the money's coming in on because Paul Craig has pulled guard.
Yeah.
Like, but that
Oh, he'll
won't count
do
as
it, yeah.
that won't count as a takedown. But
Yeah.
I still like the over on the strikes.
So
To Dom's point, the fantasy scores scares the shit out of me.
yep. That I mean, if you think he's gonna actually win by knockout or sub, it will probably be in the first 2 rounds, and he will beat that score.
Most
But
likely.
Yeah.
but he has to win. He has to win.
I think the smart bet there is the under, and then you're just afraid that he's going to catch him.
Yeah.
Nobody is catching Paul Craig in a surprise submission, though.
No.
I think that's fair, right? We're dealing with 2 high-level grapplers.
Has Paul Craig ever been submitted?
Not that I'm aware of.
Once in his entire career.
Wow.
And it was
First fight. That's my guess.
Jimmy Crute in 2018.
Damn, Jimmy Crute.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not a good look.
So it seems that Brendan Allen will not submit him. At least not surprisingly.
Nope.
And that was in the
There you
third
go.
round. That was late. 4:51 into the third round.
Damn.
So
yeah,
that's not happening.
and we both have the common fighter with Andre Muniz, which Paul Craig knocked him out, and Brendan Allen submitted Andre Muniz, as you know, like highly touted as a grappling savant. So
I wanted to look up the numbers on Damian Maia, Gunnar Nelson,
Why?
because they're both kind of similar. So many scrambles. Like that was it. It was hit, 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 scramble, hit, 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 scramble. It was on Aldo versus McGregor.
Wild.
That's
Who won that fight?
190. Look at it. How many significant strikes were thrown by Damian Maia?
Total strikes. Well, 81% of them significant.
yeah,
No,
only
47
only,
significant.
Only 58
Oh.
attempted significant strikes.
But
Gunnar Nelson 4.
Did they judge it differently back then?
That is very true. That's very true. Damn it. uh,
I don't hate the over on fight time.
I don't either. So for me, it's over on fight time or over on significant strikes.
I'm still on the strikes.
Okay.
I could take that.
Okay. So we've got our 6-pack.
Recap it for us.
Jonathan Pierce versus Joe Anderson Brito will be less than 10 minutes. Amanda Hebus versus Luana Pinheiro. There will be less than 70.5 significant strikes from Hebus. Peyton Talbot versus Nick Aguiar will be longer than
Oh, I thought we had
9
less.
will be less than 9.75 rounds. Thank you.
Yep.
Chase Hooper will get more than 47.5 significant strikes. Michael Morales will get more than 46.5 significant strikes. And Brendan Allen will get 30.5 significant strikes. More than them. More than that. I
More
got the
than that.
words. More than that. And we're going to play it.
I like it. It's played.
I'm into it.
I played it. I played it just now. I already played it.
I also played it.
I played it.
We're all
It's
going to play
happening.
it.
The pretty neat 6-pack.
I like it.
What do we take it out on?
Give us something to be thankful for. 2024.
Yeah, you know why I love MMA so much? It's pretty neat. That is 100% true, but it's also because it brings us together. You know what? Violence really does bring people together.